not my first rodeo. This is not the first time I have been through a winter. This is my 5th, 6th, 7th, I don't know, whatever winter. And I'm telling you, there's a way to attack the winter. There's a way to guard yourself against the downsides of the winter. So I need you to listen. I need you to listen very carefully. Okay. Very carefully. Any deals that you get right now, you need to make sure it's October or it's September. Okay. You need to make sure that you're doing a minimum of a 6-month deal, right? That would put you October, November, December, January, February, March. 3-month deals right now are going to be disastrous. That's going to put you September to October. So October, November, December. Your contract is going to end in December, right around Christmas. Literally right around Christmas. Not something you want to have happen. So this is something that is, we got to be really strategic here. Let's say that you go and you pitch a deal. And you do a 6-month contract, and the objection is the contract. Oh, I don't want to be locked in for 6 months, whatever, right? Hear me and listen very closely. I would rather right now, you put together a 1-month or a 2-month deal. Most honestly, probably a 1-month deal right now. Maybe even a 6-week deal than you would do in a 3-month deal. I would rather take a 1-month deal right now than I would a 3-month deal, because I would rather spend the next 4 weeks of October that I know is going to be good and have them have an amazing experience and then roll them into a 6-month or a year next month than do a 3-month and have them quit midwinter. Okay. So for those of you that are going and selling, you're going to get a 6-month contract, but if you can't, and it comes down to the contract, you guys need to use your head. You need to have your intuition. You need to realize you do not want your contracts to end in the winter. Not because you're trying to manipulate, but guys, here's what's so interesting about business owners. You could have sent them 50 leads this spring. 50. And you only told them you were going to send them 15. You could have sent them 50. And if you have a month in December that's 12, they will somehow forget about the month when you did 50. Trust me. You're in your head, you're like, yeah, well, we got 50 that month, so they're going to be cool with 12. They should be, but you're going to be amazed at how many of them you're going to pitch or you're going to talk to, and they're going to go, dude, where's my leads? You're going to go, well, I told you it was going to be slow. Remember when we got 50 in the spring? And even though it makes total sense to you, it makes total sense on paper, they totally agreed to it back in the spring. Some of these guys are going to try and cancel because they don't have money for Christmas. They don't have money for beer. They don't have money for whatever. And they're looking to cut bills. So what we need to do right now is with the clients that are not in contract, we need to go and re-sign those clients into a contract that makes sure they finish in the spring or summer. And this is exactly how you're going to do it. Okay. It's September. What you're going to do for the next 2 weeks to 30 days for the companies that are either month to month or their contracts are expiring, you are going to go and take inventory of how many leads you've been sending them. Okay. Go and take inventory of how many leads you've been sending these people. And for the next month, you guys need to have the best service on the interwebs. You need to be the most easy to reach. You need to be the most high touch. You need to get them the most leads. Do you want to know what I do? Is if I have somebody who we've been getting pretty good results for, but I'm not like crazy confident that they're going to re-sign, in the month of October, I will take my ads and I will crank it up $5 to $10 a day for 2 to 4 weeks in October. Why? Because I know at the end of October, I'm going to pitch them on doing a re-sign, and they're not going to do a re-sign if they're coming off the ass end of a bad month. You smoking what I'm rolling here, guys? You guys understanding this? Not the greatest saying. I can't remember where I heard that, but it's like such an awesome saying. You smoking what I'm rolling. You guys catching my drift? Okay. So what we're going to do is, if you have a client, I have a client right now. I'm trying to think of one I could use as an example. Perfect. I have a client, he's an artificial grass guy. Okay. Did my artificial grass. We did a deal where he did my stuff for free. He also pays me $830 or $800 a month. Okay. Well, his contract just ended. So we're on a month-to-month deal. So what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that October is the greatest month he's ever worked with us. We are going to crank up the ads. We are going to focus on the GMB. We are going to be talking to him once a week, twice a month, whatever it needs to be. And we are going to make sure that at the end of this next month, we are re-signing him into a 6-month or 12-month deal. Okay. Now, again, this isn't something that's manipulative, because when the spring comes, these guys are going to get so many more leads for the same price, but sometimes they just can't wrap their heads around it. So in a perfect world, you guys would be under contract with these people until the spring already, right? Because that's the perfect world. You get them for their first couple months, then you sign them into a year, and they're not going to end in any time in the fall or the summer or the winter. But for those of you that have people that have expired, now is your time to go and get them re-signed. And I'm telling you guys, if you don't do this, I don't care how many leads you sent them in the spring. I don't care how good your relationship is. I don't care how safe you think the deal is. Some of these people are going to cancel. Okay? Some of them are going to cancel, and it's going to be the ones that you're sending leads to, but they don't know how to close. And it doesn't mean it's your fault, guys. It does not mean it's your fault. It just means that they're not seeing the ROI. Maybe it's because they're not answering the phone. Maybe it's because the last 60 days they haven't closed that many deals because the leads have kind of dried up. Whatever it is, you guys need to take responsibility and realize that if you do not prepare for this winter, it is going to be a shitstorm. And I'm telling you right now, so that when the winter comes and one of you guys goes to post in the group and go, oh my gosh, one of my clients wants to cancel, I'm going to ask you, hey, dude, hey, lady, did you watch my live stream on September 27th when I talked about preparing for winter? Yeah. Okay. Well, did you ramp things up in October so that you could re-sign them? Well, no. Okay. What do you want me to do? Well, and then maybe you say, yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Did you get to the end of October and have the conversation and re-sign them into a 6-month or a 12-month deal or a 9-month deal? Well, no. Okay. So guys, I'm here to tell you first, before this happens, hear me when I say this. You guys have got to be strategic during the winter. And once again, I think we're on like the 4th time this call. It does not mean you have bad leads. It does not mean you're not sending them enough leads, averaged out. It just means that these people a lot of times can be very short-sighted. They can be very, what's that word? Amnesia. They can have amnesia where they forget. And it's like you're sitting there, they're going, dude, I sent you 50 leads in March. What do you mean you want to cancel? Yeah, well, that was in March, but things have really slowed down. If the client does not make money, they will cancel. Period. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, what you do over the next 30 days, you are either going to have an incredible winter. All of your companies are under contract. All of your companies are happy, and you're going to sail on through to the spring, or you're going to do what I seem to do every year. And there's always that one client that I just completely space re-signing an agreement with. And we get a call on December 12th or December 20th. And it says, hey man, can you call me? We'd like to cancel our service. And I start going to Francesca and I go, Francesca, what happened? And she goes, I thought you were going to talk to him. And I said, I thought you were going to talk to him. And guess what? We dropped the ball. We missed, and we just lost the client. And now we have to go and find a new client, go through the whole process, send the free leads, do the thing, go to the pitch, when all we would have had to do is really focus on them for 1 month. Ramp leads up $5 a day, $150 a month for 1 month. And it could have saved all that headache. Okay. So guys, this isn't me coming from, this isn't some like esoteric idea here, guys. If you don't do this, you are going to lose clients. So for those of you that just started and you're like, oh my gosh, I just got a client. Great. Do you want to keep them? do what I'm saying. Okay. For those of you that are just getting in or just sprinting through the finish line like I am, right now is the greatest time to go and get deals because we are finally starting to see that hunger come back. Okay. It's been far too long, and we've had to deal with far too many people telling us they're so busy and they got so many leads and everything else. Now is the greatest time of the year. From now, honestly, until the end of, I'd say the end of November, you're going to see this. But right now, because we're still coming off the end of that summer, so we're still going to have those warm months. We're still going to get a bunch of leads, but you're also going to have those little weeks right there in October, November that are going to be really, really good. So guys, what I would do, again, go look at all your clients. If you only got 2, it's going to be really easy. If you got 10, it's going to be a little harder. If you got 20, it's going to be a little bit harder. Go look at all of them. When does their contract end? How many leads have they got last month or this month in September? How many leads did they get in August? How many leads did they get in July? If you called them today, would they be ready to resign? Or if you called them today, would they say, dude, I think I want to cancel? Regardless of what it is, the next 30 days, you are going to ramp things up. You're going to give them a ton of attention. You're going to give a ton of soft touches, and you are going to go and re-sign them.